There are two types of happiness. There's happiness in the moment and happiness in your life as a whole. Obviously, it's much easier to achieve happiness in the moment than it is in your overall life, and this is something that Americans have recently been struggling with. Since the 1960s, happiness in life as a whole in the United States has increasingly gone down. In self-reports of happiness, we've seen a huge increase in depression, and many believe that there are multiple factors contributing to this, such as the increased consumption of alcohol. One trend that we've seen is half of American children are expected to be in single-parent homes by the time they're 16. There's also decreased trust within communities, increased crime rates, which are causing huge problems in different communities. Relationships in your community is one of the key components to happiness. Also, television has become a huge component. It's hurting individuals' social lives. It's exposing children at a young age to violence, and we've just seen an overall decrease of morals and spiritual values in the United States since the 1960s. So what exactly are the components that do make people happy? One of the first major component is genetics. Having happy ancestors that are lacking mental health illnesses, that's the main component of whether you're going to be happy or not, or have to struggle with any sort of mental disorder. Having a strong family background is one of the main components of happiness. You're going to have a support system. You're going to have somebody to talk to. It's going to make you happier. That's the solid basis for a happy life. There are 7 components of happiness. Some of them are social and some of them are more on a personal level. A couple of the social ones have to do with family relations, your community and your friends, and your environment at work. If you are in good health, you're obviously going to be happy. You're not going to have to struggle with different medical issues. If you have a strong family, you're going to have someone to rely on. If you're in a good community, you're obviously going to be much happier. There is actually a study where people would go around and purposely drop their wallets in their community just to see if they were returned, and those that had their wallets returned were much more likely to be happy within their community than the ones that never saw their wallets again. And more personal components of happiness are financial situation, your personal freedom, and your personal values. Now, because in the United States we have such a large personal freedom and personal values, I would think that we would be one of the higher countries on the happiness level globally, but we're actually one of the lower ones. Because we are able to practice any religion or have any political standpoint we choose, I feel that we should be one of the happier countries, but actually Mexico is one of the higher on the global scale, which I found really interesting. Also, money has a lot less of an impact than many people would believe. With making money comes more work, which causes people to underappreciate their family and their friends and even leisure. People work so hard to make money, and then they reach a certain level of comfort, then they just slowly start desiring more, and this is called the hedonic treadmill, which Kinnaman and Deaton explained. It's also known as habitation. We get to a level, we desire something, we get to the level where we can have that, and then we slowly adjust to that level of comfort, and then we find something else we want, and we work hard to get that new item, and then we slowly adjust to that comfort, and it's just a never-ending cycle that money creates, that we're constantly wanting more and more, and it's there's no substance behind it. So really, money has a very, very small impact on one's happiness as a whole. So really, I think that overall Americans need to focus on more of their personal things such as family relationships to show to show how they're happy, not really focus on money or objects to bring themselves happiness. I think that we've kind of lost track with what's truly valuable in our lives, and that's more of the people around us and giving, not really taking or showing what we have. So I think that if we would just look at the 7 key components of happiness, I think we could really turn around our World Happiness Report and be number 1 on the scale.